Omékongo, the thing that I keep trying to say to folk, you can't just sit here and get pissed off and be mad and say stuff on social media. You can't just post all different sort of comments or whatever. The way to beat them is at the ballot box. And when you look at the numbers, I mean, bottom line is, if black folks had turned out, and frankly, Sheriff Beasley had not listened to her white consultants, okay, she could be the United States Senator. And so this is how you beat them. You defeat them at the ballot box.
And this is something that you've also always said on your show, is the importance of us not channeling all our funds and resources towards like the DNC, but supporting local organizations on the ground that are doing the work to get this information out. When we see what's happening in North Carolina, as it has been said earlier, this is something that's happening all across the country. And it's happening in the judicial system. It's happening with our legislators as well. Look at what Ron DeSantis did, getting rid of suspending 20 plus legislators at different levels there. And so when it comes down to it, we have to continue to mobilize. But I think it's also important that we also make sure that we're speaking to what's happening to white folks in North Carolina as well, because in too many instances, we are seeing that they always start with black people. And when they see that other folks are not coalescing around them, they come for other people. That's how in the educational sense in Florida, they lost AP psychology. That's how in Roe v. Wade, they came after black issues. And now it's like, let's go after these rights as well. They never stop. And at what point do people who live in these districts who realize that these judges, these senators, these Congress people, they're not serving them anything. They're not doing anything to build their own communities. They only believe in the politics of power, and they're not doing anything empowering for their constituents. And if just being able to silence black people is enough for these folks, then that's all they're going to take. And so I really think at the end of the day, the fact that you're bringing this up, I don't hear anybody in all of these other news networks talking about North Carolina. But the last thing I will say is that these guys are all following Trump's example. Trump has made it clear that if he comes back in, he is going to be an autocrat. And people are feeling at every level they can start doing the same thing and start talking the same talk because they know they got somebody at the top who's going to support them. And we have to counter that as well.